Hey everyone, this is Apryl again, and I am here with Allison. Allison, why are you here to support Columbia Springs today?
Well, I'm here because I love Columbia Springs, but I love Columbia Springs because we have amazing educators and amazing volunteers, and they have these brilliant ideas of how to make our programs way more awesome, but a big part of that is that they need funding. And so I'm here to increase our funding opportunities so that all of our amazing educators and volunteers can implement all of their amazing ideas.
Fantastic. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you.
This is Dennis. Dennis, can you tell us why do you support Columbia Springs? What fires you up about Columbia Springs?
Probably the one thing that I get excited about Columbia Springs is the fact that it deals with so many young people, several thousand a year. And those are young people, many of them, I should say, that may not have access to the natural world, nature in itself. And here it is right inside of the city limits of Vancouver. So I think the fact that we have such an outreach for young people, that they can take part in nature, it kind of fires me up most. There's two other things that I think support that. One is the staff, you and others, and I think we have an amazing staff. I do great work at Columbia Springs. They're well-trained, educated, and experienced in the areas that they have, and do a powerful job. And I'm proud to be affiliated with the staff that we have at Columbia Springs. And I think the other area is the fact that we have a hatchery, we have 100 acres of nature land with trails, and all of that combined makes such a powerful, it's a jewel in our community. And just really proud to be a part of that.
Fantastic. Thanks, Dennis. I'm going to tear up a little bit.
Well, good.
Well, I will let you peruse and enjoy.
Head into the other room here. Good.
Happy to have you.
All right.
right, now I'm here with Heidi. Heidi, what nature name did you pick?
Oh, I picked rabbit for a number of reasons. Multiplying, it's my world, and I do tend to create a lot.
Very cool. I love that.
Yeah.
I actually haven't seen very many rabbit nature names, so I like.
I thought it was very
it's
good.
kind of unique.
Through the list, nothing, rabbit. Yep, there we
That's
go.
it. Nice. You know, when you know, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
So Heidi, why do you feel passionate about supporting Columbia Springs?
So I was thinking about this over the years, actually, because I was on the board for over 15 years. And the thing that always rings true to me is I love a good investment, and Columbia Springs is exactly that. The amount that they raise is minimal compared to what they produce. And they have a phenomenal staff, always have. And my investment goes so far in multiplying. And what goes with that for me is Columbia Springs is excellent at partners, and whether it's, the kids programs or the volunteers that they have, that there's partnerships throughout the community to make Columbia Springs really be one of those gems of our community.
Very cool. You really are a rabbit. That was perfect. Thanks, Heidi.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Hi, I am Apryl Cory, and I will be your virtual MC for the evening. Welcome to Hooked on Nature. We're glad that you're here. We're going to get started in just a few minutes. If you haven't already, move on over to columbiasprings.org/watch-hooked. That's where you can watch the full program. You can also now log into the auction page, which is columbiasprings.org/hooked. There you can check out the auction items, you can make a donation, you can watch items or bid. You can also set a max bid or use the buy it now option if there's something that you just cannot live without. There's lots of really great things here tonight. So we'll see you in a few minutes. Go ahead and get yourselves buckled up and settled in, and we'll see you soon. My name is Apryl Cory. My nature name is Dragonfly. I'm super excited to be here. We're going to do a little activity to help us explore what adaptations make salmon really, really successful. And I need a volunteer to help me. Is there someone who would volunteer to come on down? I have a special reward for you. Allison! Yes, thank you. Everyone, yes, thank you, Allison. So brave. All right, I appreciate it. Okay, so I think you guys probably already know a lot about salmon. Let's start with the most obvious. You want to show the first card? So what is it that's covering a salmon's body? What covers all over their body? You guys can shout it out. Just don't spit food at your neighbor. Scales, yes. Okay, so we're going to start with scales. Are you ready for this? Okay, our scales are so fabulous. All right. This is our scales. Would you mind putting that on for us, please? So if you tap on your fingernail, that's kind of similar to what a fish's scale is like, and it covers all over their body, and so that helps them have some protection. So imagine if you were covered in fingernails and you were to like bang your shin on the coffee table. It probably wouldn't bruise as much if you were covered in scales like Allison is. So, Allison Fish, how you feeling your scales? Nice. All right. Okay, so the next thing I think we all know about salmon, how do they breathe? They breathe with gills. That's right. And gills have a few different parts. So on the outside of the gill, I'll hold it like this. So the outside of the gill is a hard plate called an operculum. And then underneath the gill, that's underneath the plate, that's where the actual frilly gills are that extract the oxygen in the water. So when they open their mouth, the water comes in, and then that water goes out through their gills. Can you guys practice that? So open your mouth. That's right, awesome. So we're gonna put these gills on our salmon. It's not attached to your face. And this operculum, just like the shoulder pad that we're modeling them with, really helps to protect them because they're pretty delicate underneath there. There you go. Thank you. You're welcome. You can breathe now. You feel like you can breathe? Yeah. Okay, awesome. All right. So has anyone ever touched a fish? Raise your hand if you've touched a fish before. All right, everybody, what does a fish feel like? They feel slimy. Anybody who like grew up watching Nickelodeon is like, it's not slime time. So we have a rain jacket to model the slime coat. And let me find the hood here for you. There you go. And the reason we're using this rain jacket, partially because it's see-through. So the slime coat you can't see on the fish, but you can certainly feel it. It's actually part of their immune system, so it helps to protect them. It makes them slippery. So if a bear was trying to catch Allison Fish, she'd be more likely to slip through. But also, just like her immunity is kind of wrapped up in that slime coat. So it's going to help to protect her, just like this rain jacket would. You feeling safe? You feel, you look great. You should just wear it all night. I might. Yeah. All right. I wouldn't blame you. Mel might be a little upset by that. Yeah. Oh, it has pockets. They both do. All right. So we know that they have scales. We know they have gills. We know they have a slime coat. But what are some of the senses? Is that what's next? Yeah. What are some of the senses that a salmon has? So one thing a salmon has is a lateral line. That's something that you may not have heard of before. Can you kind of hold your arm up and turn sideways? You'll see this here. That's Allison Fish's lateral line. It's actually kind of a fishy superpower. And it's like if you were to combine super touch with ears in one organ. So it helps them to sense like changes in water pressure. If you see fish all kind of like change direction together, they can sense each other's movement using that lateral line. It's a very sensitive organ, and it's why you shouldn't tap on a fish tank. So that's their lateral line. And then another sense, we know that fish have nice big eyes. I want everyone just to try to hold your eyes open like you're having a staring contest. And try to hold them open as long as you can. How does that feel? Are your eyes kind of drying out? Okay, if you were a fish, would your eyes dry out? It wouldn't. So Allison fish, you're not going to need eyelids anymore. That's pretty great. So what we do have are these nice, no knives, no body modification. We've got these nice big eyes that don't have any eyelids. So that'll be nice for our fish. There you go. All right, you can kind of see a little bit. They're pretty cool. All right, cool. So another sense that a salmon has is their sense of smell. And they actually have a really strong sense of smell. A salmon, when they will go all the way from the place they're born, all the way downstream, all the way out to the ocean. They'll spend several years out in the ocean, and then they have to find their way back to where they were born. And there's a lot to that, but one of the adaptations that helps them do that is their sense of smell. So you're going to need a real strong sniffer. Actually, your sense of smell is going to be better than a well-trained scent dog, which is pretty rad. You ready for this? All right. So here's your new nose. But wait, is a fish's nose like below their mouth or below their eyes like that? It's kind of like right in front of their eyes, right? So you're going to put your dog nose on your forehead. That makes sense, right? Nice. All right. Yeah, you can give your elevator speech once you're all dressed up. Do you think you can smell home now? Yeah. All right, cool. Okay. Okay, we'll get you back to your dinner pretty quick here. There's another really important thing that our fish is going to need. It's great that Allison fish can smell their way home, but can they get there? They're going to need some real strong fins. Some good fins. Need some good fins? All right. So salmon actually have lots of different fins, and each kind of fin is adapted for a different part of their swimming. It might help with balance or propel them forward. We're just going to give our fish some pectoral fins. So you'll put, let's see, where's the thumb side? There we go. So it's going to go this way.
This way?
Yeah. There we go.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. You're going to be so fast. Yeah. All right. Nice.
Come after me, fish.
Chum after. Allison's got the jokes here. Chum after me. Nice. All right. Do you feel like you can swim really fast?
Yeah.
Do you feel like you can maneuver a fork? Maybe. So Allison salmon is very well adapted for swimming, but not so much for eating their dinner. Sorry.
I'd rather be here.
Oh, me too. Thanks, Allison Fish. So those are all of the adaptations we're going to share with you today. Can we have a hand for Allison Fish? Nice. Thank you so much. What's your nature name, Allison?
I'm a tardigrade.
A tardigrade. That's a really good one.
I share with Kat because we're kindred spirits, and she's a water bear. But I went with the scientific name, so.
That was great. All right. So to reward you for your fishy participation, I have a special exclusive fish bead to add to your nature necklace. I'll let you take all your stuff off, but thank you so much, Allison. Well, you probably can't eat with the fins. We'll at least take it.
Well, I'll give it back so you guys
Okay.
can giving this presentation to all our kiddos.
Yeah, thank you so much. And thank you guys for participating and cheering Allison on. Very cool. And if you want to make your very own fish costume, you can share your photo with us on social media. We would love to see it.
I'm going to leave the scales on for the rest of the night, though.
I'm okay with that.
Jacket's good.
So this is Adam here. Adam works with the hatchery on site. Adam, what do you love most about sharing the site with Columbia Springs?
I like that Columbia Springs brings in students. So seeing the field trips every day, seeing the kids have new experiences, and even if it's one that I have on a daily basis, seeing them enjoy those experiences really makes me appreciate them all over again.
Absolutely. I agree. Thank you so much. Thanks, Adam. My name's Apryl. My nature name is Dragonfly.
Yeah, I don't have a nature name.
You don't have one yet?
I don't.
Oh, do you have any
Probably-
runners up?
Probably like Turkey would be my nature name.
That sounds like a really interesting one. Why would you pick Turkey as your nature name?
Because, I don't know, it just sounds like me.
Sometimes that's, I don't know why mine's
I don't know.
Dragonfly. It just called to me.
I don't know.
Like a turkey call.
Or maybe chicken. I don't know what I am.
Chickens are really great. They're actually sweet and compassionate.
That,
and
they
I
are.
don't know.
They truly are.
They're pretty cute.
So what are we doing here?
I'm just wondering what it is that you love about Columbia Springs.
The nature, actually. Yeah. I love the nature of Columbia Springs. It's not far from my home. So I go down there every once in a while. I walk the trails. It's just beautiful. Kind of a little oasis away from the city. Although still probably in the city as I think about it, but it's really not. So yeah.
It's a little pocket.
It is.
It's a hidden secret.
It's a really hidden secret, and it's beautiful. Yeah.
Cool. Well,
Very
thank
easy.
you.
Yeah.
What's your favorite wildlife sighting you've had out there?
So the cranes. So I live on the other side of Highway 14, so I live next to Riverview Elementary, and the springs went underneath there. And so I'll go down there several times a year and just watch the cranes. They're just majestic and big and interesting.
They're very interesting.
Yeah.
And sometimes you'll get to see Hank, the great blue heron, chase the cranes
There you go.
away, which is kind of fun
And
too.
and the trails there are just really nice. So yeah.
Cool.
It's
Well,
all
thank
good.
you so much.
Absolutely.
Thanks for your time.
Absolutely.
sorry. As we all know, as you all know, because you are here, Columbia Springs is a really special place. And at the risk of sounding like the OPB telethons that will be plaguing us soon, it is that way because of people like you. It's because you are people who see value in those magic moments that are created for every person that goes there. So I'm going to ask you to do a little something with me. It's kind of silly, but just play along. If we can do fish, just play along with me. I'd like everyone to close their eyes for a minute. Think about a time when you were really young, and take a deep breath and smell that forest smell. It could be the first time you ever went on a hike or camping. It could be catching your first fish or swimming in wild water. Think about how you felt. Maybe it was exhilaration, maybe it was joy or wonder. And just think about that magic moment that you carry with you. It's through nature that I have a sense of being both very, very small and at the same time very, very large. Your connection to nature isn't some grand mountain range necessarily or a vast sea, but it could be a very intimate connection that you might have with a particular tree on a walk that you do every day, or that familiarity of the earthy smell that comes after the first rain. And for me, that smell and that moment arrives like an old friend. The sense of being both humbled by nature and the splendor and enormity of it, and also feeling lifted up by the connection of it, is the duality that nature evokes, in a way that nothing else and nowhere else can. And in that, I want to acknowledge that Indigenous peoples were the first stewards of salmon and the ecology of the Pacific Northwest, and I want you to remember that wherever you are, you're on native land. Now, I have the amazing privilege, and I'm very honored to be able to introduce Tanna Engdahl to you. It's really hard to sum up in words what a remarkable woman she is, but I'll do my best. Tanna is an elder and spiritual leader with the Cowlitz tribe in the state of Washington here. In her working life, she had a 30-year career in public land agencies like the Bureau of Indian Affairs, Bureau of Land Management, and the National Park Service. And during her leadership in these roles, she encouraged federal sensitivity to tribal sacred sites and was in the forefront of a movement to establish Indian cultural committees in government. And in her retirement, she is a beloved public speaker and serves on lots of regional boards and serves as a deeply involved person in her community. It is my pleasure to introduce Tanna.
Well, thank you, Katherine, and thank you, audience. What a pleasure. As Katherine said, I'm Tanna Engdahl, spiritual leader of the Cowlitz Indian tribe, and I am Turtle. Are any other turtles in the room? Over here someplace? Well, I stand alone before you. I'm definitely one who believes in the spirit of creation that gifted us with the four-leggeds, the swimmers, the flyers, and even the crawlers. I know you feel that way too. As a large cohort of earth believers and the forms it beholds. So to understand this, we go back to the beginning, when Coyote, commissioned by the high god, sang his medicine song through time and space, creating the high mountains, the prairies, the rivers, the oceans, the rains, the gold of the sun and the cold silver of the moon. Animals populated the verdant earth and met in talking circles to prepare for the arrival of the two-leggeds. Salmon said, I will offer my flesh to keep them alive. Cedar said, I will shed planks from my trunk to give them shelter. Each in his own way gave gifts of creation to assist the two-leggeds become easy and comfortable with the earth. The shy beaver approached the council and said, "You will need engineers who have command of the waterways. I will give my teeth as saws to log the lands and build erosion controls. I will form pools and lakes to create life-giving ecosystems." Ah, here was a Genesis species, a land planner specializing in wetlands that would sustain the life forms of hundreds of species, as well as hydroengineering filter systems that would ever improve water qualities. The animals looked at each other and blinked. Finally, the flyers said, "We'll bring music to the two-leggeds. We will create songs for them and fill the heavens with symphonies that will bring awe to the angel choirs. They will need companionship," said the wolf, "and someone to walk by their side, to nurse them, give them wisdom and playfulness. I will put into my genetic code a trigger that will bring my kind into their world, so they will never be without a four-legged to serve their needs, whether it be work, play, protection, or healing. I will do the same," said the cougar. "They will look into the eyes of my descendants and understand the spirit of creation. The hearts that beat in the four-leggeds, or on wings, or time to the rhythm of the waters, are elevated higher in the mystic layers of time, because they come without bias, without judgment, but merely to express themselves as the perfect result of creation's intent." The high God was pleased. Oh.
Thank you, Tanna. All right. Now it is my pleasure to introduce my very good friends, Doug Quinn and Bill Weiler. Please come join me on the stage.
So lucky to have Katherine as your ED. Spectacular. Good work tonight.
Yes, let's give Katherine a bit of recognition. She put us in the room tonight. So you just want us to hang out up here for a little bit? Cool. So thank you all for being here this evening. You know why we're here, and you know about what this is all going on. I want to share with you just momentarily, and I think Bill Weiler will probably do the same in just a minute. Why do I care about what this is, what Katherine and this amazing team of people have put together at Columbia Springs? And the closest I can get to it is seeing the grounds through the eyes of my grandchildren. And when I enjoy the moments as much as them, I have a hard time, a little over 60, and I'm still pressing my thinking back to 5. But thank you,
Deep
Bill.
knee bend.
I feel it. I'm feeling it. They are so into the trout. Trout are amazing. They are like an alien to these kids, and they get so close to them. And something Columbia Springs does, unlike any other hatchery I've been to, They put the food in a box, and they just let you have it. Now, my granddaughter will scoop it and feed it and trickle it into the fish. It's a reflection of her personality and things. My grandson clutches a handful, and he throws it as far as he can to see the swarm. And that's how they enjoy, who would trickle? Who would trickle? Who would throw for the melee? More guys are into the melee, I can see from right here. Although with this light, I'm not seeing a whole lot. I will tell you that little experience with my grandchildren and with the hatchery is one of those special kernels that we have minutes away from our house. Thank you. Thank you for that gift.
Thank you so much. That's a great story. Yeah, my name is Bill. I'm a wildlife biologist. I live upriver, and I've been looking for an environmental ed center for about 35 years. And if you remember the story of, I think it's the little princess. Mm-hmm. She ends up, I mean, she's royalty, and then she ends up, being tough place at a school. She does all the work, and she doesn't go to school anymore. And her uncle finds out that she was just next door all the time, the whole time. And so here, I've been looking for an environmental ed center, and it's been right next door to all of you folks, and even me who live up the river. It's a great place to go. The purpose, one of the main purposes of this wonderful Columbia Springs is to establish a sense of wonder and place. And if you can instill that into a child, you are there. And now, real briefly, I want to just mention that I am a wildlife biologist again, and I was at the theater the other day, and a bat was flying around. Oh. And I kid you not, guess what the person on stage said? It was before the play started. Is there a wildlife biologist in the house? And I said, yes, there's nothing I could do about the bat. Okay, back to the auction and back to what's happening, Doug.
Did you save the show? Were you able to help them?
I went like this, bat be gone, and I hope it disappeared. Yes.
Oh, my goodness. I do have to say something about the educational aspect. Education is, I mean, the adults in this room, and I think that includes all of you, that's what we can gift to those in our lives, especially those that are using the facilities at Columbia Springs. This is the core mission. I love the idea of accessibility because I see the restrictions that some of our students, I volunteer in some local school settings, and I see students who should not be taken for granted as they're trying to somehow gain this educational experience, and it's anything but a joy to them. And I see what Columbia Springs is presenting to them, which is an accessible ability to go see and experience wildlands right in their own person. I mean, they're in it, and they're releasing. They're doing all sorts of fun things. Clark Public Utilities, my employer, I love them to death. We have some fun supporting a program, Salmon in the Classroom. If you don't know about it, picture,
Nicely done. Nicely done.
It is the coolest thing to see kids raise. I've seen the photo up here, the egg photo, and they raise those fish to fry, and they are then watching the life cycles. It coincides with the life cycle education in, 4th grade, and then they go and release these things, and they're releasing them with hope of return. And these kids are, I mean, they're buying into this concept and recognizing that feeling of, I've just created something in the future. It's one of the first opportunities where they can be kind of a pro-creator. And I love the idea that you're creating that in their hearts. It's a beautiful gift to give to them. I see we have some silent auction items that are starting to move. Do you notice that? Thank you, Kylie, for bringing that up. And it's coming close. We're going to be closing here at 7:30, right? You guys want to watch a video?
That sounds good to me. I hear it might even be about wildlife. Perfect.
Let's watch it. Kylie, are you going to cue that up? Gentlemen, can you cue it up? Thank you. Please join us.
The reason you have so many wildlife and fish species at Columbia Springs is you have such a diversity of fish and wildlife habitat. Wait, newsflash! Auction! What's happening? Some items have not been bid on? Is that possible? No.
Not with this group, it isn't.
Okay, what do we got here?
Well, I see Antigua 7 Nights is coming along nicely. If anybody's holding hope, you might want to get online and check that out. I see the Trailblazer game is,
oh boy,
we got a nice bid on that. That's coming along very nicely. And I see, is bidder 347, 338, are you guys in the room here or are you out on the virtual land? Because we have both in-house and out-of-house people bidding on items. Neither one of you are in here, okay. Pictures and pampering, that's a good one. There's room there. There's a lot of room on that one that could be having some fun.
I'm a musician, so bring in the music, come on.
Yes. Now, did you all notice on that video anything in particular? I've got to point it out if you didn't, and we might have a moment, I don't know if it's possible, gentlemen, to cue it up. Did you notice the perspective from which it was shot? In the ground, underwater, moving along stem. If you were a squirrel sprinting up a tree, you would have probably had that view, that experience. Katherine, do I have a moment? Could I ask to run that one more time? Okay, we have 2 minutes. We have a little bit of time. If I can get 2 minutes to run that again, I want you to watch that same video one more time, as though you were an insect, a mouse, a frog, a fish, a squirrel. What other creature was in that you had intended? Do you recall?
Maybe your creature that is on your name tag.
It could be. So why don't you guys roll that one more time and watch it from that perspective, please.
Even better the second time. Thank you so much.
Well, it's interesting. Did anybody see that differently the second time than you did the first time?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's that artful aspect of education, isn't it? Which is by providing relevance and by providing kind of a setting that teases your brain into a new setting. Once you're aware of it, you learn. When learning is relevant, it sticks. It's recoverable. And I appreciated the fact that the first time you saw it, those were scenes. Beautiful. The second time you saw it, you might have put yourself into the eyes of a bird or that fish. I was one of those fish. I just thought, what a melee that is. In the midst of that just swarm of fish, what that must be like for a fish. It always seems so calm and relaxing that would be their reality. We have 4 minutes left. I'm going to give you a heads up right now. Actually, can you see that as well as I? I see 4 minutes, 35 seconds. to be exact.
But who's counting?
But who's counting? And you're supposed to be counting, Bill. Come on, man. We can't be off.
I want this to go as long as it can. So
Okay.
my 7:30 could be, Hawaiian time.
Could be a whole time zone away.
Well, no, it's time.
So we're getting right there. So I want to encourage you to take a look at your online bids, because for 4 more minutes, you can win.
Sorry to keep you waiting. That's an old Simpsons line.
Oh, really? Well, I'm going with Kylie. Should I go with your numbers? Well,
Doug, I've been involved with a lot of auctions in the past, and I've never seen an array of such incredible possibilities.
I know. Isn't it a wonder? What would you be bidding on tonight, Bill, if you weren't up here doing this?
Well, I heard there was actually a travel plan to Panama. Is that true?
Yes.
And
yes.
I have been to Panama, and I would love to go back. More birds spotted there in one day than any place on the planet.
Oh, my. Panama.
Yes. It looks like people are pulling out their phones here. Way to go. Way to go, you guys.
I think we maybe lost the crowd in the right sort of way. I encourage you to be looking at your phones, bidding it up, have some fun. Know that you're supporting Columbia Springs as you bid. And this is an opportunity. Just push it along, push it up. And I'm going by the official, not my other clock. Oh, there we go. I am now under 1 minute.
1 minute.
So you all better get on. And Jim, I know you had your eyes on one thing. You better start. We're getting there. So if you've got an item and you're playing that end game jump thing, I'm going to tell you that in 2, 1, 0 seconds, you have 30 seconds. You have 30 seconds. And that's going to go away very quickly. And it could be like any time now, I could start counting down. And when I start counting down and when I say close, it's going to close. It could be 12 seconds.
There were a lot of bargains left. I remember seeing that. So a lot of stuff that is out there that is not going for full price.
Oh, 3, 2, 1, closed.
So you know what they say when you take the SAT test?
What's that?
Pencils down.
Pencils down.
Phones down.
Put my pencil.
Give yourselves a hand.
Put
Thank
my
you so
pencil
much.
down.
Good work.
Yes.
You missed your calling as an auctioneer. That was very good.
Yes. You guys, you did it. You did it. Thank you so much. Right there, we just are on the books with silence, and I'm seeing all sorts of bids. Here we go. Do we have a winner? Who won? Oh, let me see. What are you doing? What are you going to go? Where are you going, or what did you taking home?
3 rooms, 7 nights at St. James.
Ooh.
Very nice.
Anyone over
we
here?
need to get to know you better, right?
Where are you going or doing?
We're going to Antigua, baby.
No! Oh, that was the trip I was looking at. Though there were several of them, by the way. Who else? Anybody else taking anything home? Oh. What'd you pick up?
3 months of tanning for the winter.
Nice. We'll know who you are in a little bit. You'll be the only one with color.
Anybody else want to share their newfound gifts?
Here we go. We got another winner.
You won't mind a microphone in your face, I'm sure.
And by the way, you guys don't know this, but I do. These 2 ladies right here are Katherine's sisters.
Welcome.
Yeah, they're here supporting their sister. I don't know. You guys look so similar in all characteristics. It's wonderful.
Here's somebody else. Yes, sir.
Well, this was going to be a Christmas present.
Sorry. Okay, never mind.
Okay, so
No,
I'm going to
I
ask
didn't hear
here.
anything from me.
What was
okay.
it?
I got the duck.
You got the duck. Yes. That big old duck right there. Nice. I got the duck. Are you a University of Oregon grad? I'm
Oh, perfect.
perfect.
Very nice. And the Christmas present wasn't revealed. Oh boy, I sure almost blew that. What's happening? What's happening next year in Columbia Springs? And I would like to know all the great things you've been doing this year. Is this the cue to bring up Miss Katherine Cory again?
Nope, she just wants to see it, I think.
Okay.
But I think it's time to cue up our second video of the evening.
There you go.
It's going to be titled, and if you would, 2022 in 2 minutes. Please join us. That's a pretty big year. Music and outdoors. I think that's a wonderful combination you guys promote. I'm also, and I know you can answer this for me, Katherine, is it true that Columbia Springs provides all of the trout that go to all of those fishing derbies that those happy little faces would have been out fishing for?
Yes, we're lucky enough to produce literally hundreds of thousands of rainbow trout, steelhead, and chum salmon, and they all end up in local waterways.
That was a good year, 2022.
Yes. So I thought we could talk a little bit about how excited I've been for this year. So it's so great to see all of you here in person, but we've been doing in-person things on the site, which we haven't been able to do for a few years because, you know, the world was on fire. So now we have this opportunity, I've had this opportunity to do things like field trips, and our very talented field trip coordinator here, Jenna, wave your hand. I'm not going to make you stand, but wave.
Thank you, Jenna.
Jenna brought field trips back to our site, and we've been running them ever since, and it's totally crazy because now I come out the door and there's like a whole class of kids running and screaming, and they're just having such a great time. And we're going to do more of them in the next year. We're going to go back to pre-pandemic field trip numbers, which is super exciting for all of us.
That's fantastic.
Bring it on.
Yeah. We also had our second annual Relit, which is a Repair Clark County celebration of upcycled lighting festival. I hope that you all were able to see that. If not, it will be back next year because it was so much fun. And Tara did an amazing job. Tara's over there. Wave your hand. There we go.
Hey, Tara.
Tara is the mastermind behind our repair program. So if you've ever had an item repaired, her lovely hands have coordinated all of the things that happen there, and she deserves all the props because she does.
Katherine, wait a second. I heard a rumor tonight, which is absolutely astonishing, about a mammal that does incredible work for the environment, this beaver. What can you tell us about that? That just seems amazing to me, if what I heard is true.
Letting the secret out. Okay. So we are honored to be able to have beaver housed at our site as part of a recovery program through Cascade Forest Conservancy. So nuisance beaver are going to come and live in a round pond that we're not currently using to rear fish. And they're going to hang out there until we can get their whole family all situated. And then they get to be rehomed in the Gifford Pinchot, which is really amazing.
That's fantastic. That's great.
That theoretically will start next week as early as we can find our very first little beaver family.
So outdoor education and wildlife rehabilitation.
Yes, all the things. I mean, we do a little bit of everything. Like, it's really hard for me to sum up what we do at Columbia Springs. People ask me, like, what's your job? And we have, I don't know, hundreds of things that we're doing all the time. So we have field trips, and we serve every fifth grade student in Vancouver and Evergreen districts, which is like 6,000 students or more a year, which is pretty incredible. We have salmon in the classroom. Mel's over there, and she's new, but she has to wave. Wave, Mel. She runs that program. We have a repair program where we essentially fix broken things for free, which is outstanding and unheard of. And we do all sorts of crazy community events. So the talented Apryl, who was up here earlier dressing up Allison like a fish, also runs our Family Nature Days. She's over there. Wave. There you go.
And Katherine, you know, I mentioned briefly after the wonderful, wonderful wildlife video about the importance of wildlife habitat. And I know, you know, before you arrived and now since, you got plans for wildlife habitat, fish habitat restoration?
Yeah, so one of our goals, one of the things that was really hard in the last couple of years was our volunteer base. You know, it's really hard to volunteer when you're not quite sure what's going on, and so we're working on figuring out how to increase our volunteer base. Our goal is to hire a site manager at the end of this year that's going to help us coordinate that manpower, that volunteer power to get out and get people pulling ivy and restoring the grounds and planting trees. And then we have this capital project, which I would be remiss to not give a shout out to Representative Paul Harris, who's here in the room.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, Paul
Thank you,
Harris.
thank you, thank you.
He has been very helpful in the new to that kind of funding person that I am, so that I can rebuild a dam that's part of like a water retention that holds water in one of our lakes that we use for rearing fish on the site. And so that water is integral to our programming. It's super great so that we can have this beautiful lake, and it's got herons and ducks, which you saw. And so next year we'll be able to break ground on that. So that's a really exciting thing.
Thank you, Representative, for your help in that.
And I know you didn't want me to do that, but I did it anyway because I couldn't not. We have a really good year coming up, and I'm so humbled. Every time that I come to work, I think this is my job, and it's in this most amazing way because I have the best team. I have this incredibly insightful and passionate group of people who consistently make everything that they do better and better. And even though we were in a pandemic and even though things were different, we consistently improved our program. So what is happening, what is coming out, is literally better than it's ever been. And it's just, I don't know, it's remarkable. And I'm truly proud and honored to work with each and every one of them.
Yes.
Very nice.
Hear, hear.
So we also have one more thing, because I'm really excited about it. We've got some opportunities to do more volunteering in the future. A couple of you have asked me about it. And if you have interest, you can email us, and I will reach out to you, I promise. Now that event season is going to be over, I'll be able to have time to breathe, and I can email all of you who are interested in coming to the site because we will have lots of really fun things to do in the future. So.
Excellent.
Thank you. Do we have a video coming up?
We do.
I have heard it's spooky.
It might be not that one. I don't know.
Would you show a 5-year-old? No?
I mean, that's coming up later. I don't know that we would show 5-year-olds.
Okay.
I think
So
we're
this
going
is
to
a
talk a
different
little
one.
bit about something new that we did this year. This year, we started a paid internship program. And so that allows us to reach an audience of people who are really eager to learn about how to get themselves out there in the workforce, and we can now pay them. So it makes it more competitive. It makes it easier for people who maybe don't have the means to do an unpaid internship. So it makes it more accessible, and it really speaks to the ethos of what we're doing. So you get to hear a little bit from our interns. One of them's here, so please embarrass her greatly by lots of applause.
Yes.
So my name is Haley Gertz. I am an American Fisheries Society Hutton intern for the summer. I know I came here in 5th grade, but that was a long time ago. I do remember working at the stream table.
Well, I was in an internship program, and when I was there, I was introduced to Kylie, and I did an interview, and that's how I was introduced to Columbia Springs.
Columbia Springs really helped me tune in on what I like and what I want to do. I felt kind of lost before I got a job here, and I never thought I would find something that quite fit my life. So to me, it was more than just something to put on my resume and say, yeah, I worked here. It was an incredible experience. It helped me find what I'm passionate about. It helps me learn new things about myself. Like, I can work with kids, and I have the confidence to do it. And yeah, if it wasn't here anymore, I'm not sure what I would do, where I would go to look at fish or feed fish, learn about the salmon. I didn't know anything about salmon until I got hired here.
I've grown up hunting and fishing and camping and hiking and everything, so much outside. Like, that's all we would really do in the summer, was go outside and get out in nature, and I would definitely not be who I am today without it.
Well, I'm from Iraq, and there is basically just desert, and there isn't really an outdoor place like where nature is at, where it's all green and calm. So when I came here and visited a lot of places, I think this suit me better.
I grew up in Wisconsin on a farm, so I was always outside, and I moved to Vancouver in 2017, and this is the biggest city I've ever lived in, so I didn't feel like I could get outside at all when I first moved here. So I was always finding these little trails, and this is probably one of the favorite places I've found so far. I'll come back here, and I'll just be like, I don't want anyone to see that I'm here for the 6th time today, or that I'm coming back here. I live so close, I live 10 minutes away, so I do come here often.
Seeing kids come here and just watching them enjoy nature and have such a blast being together and just doing all of these cool things that you don't get to do all the time, and seeing them being all excited about it, that definitely made me fall in love with what Columbia Springs does as a nonprofit. Columbia Springs is such an integral part of the community.
I guess the more older you get, the more you see how valuable nature is. I really love Columbia Springs.
Well, Katherine, Columbia Springs now has a new byline, all green and calm. That was really nice from the young woman from Iraq. This past year, I had a wonderful opportunity to kind of be part of a group kind of giving a career days to students from the School of the Blind. And they had spent time prior to us talking and meeting to explore Columbia Springs, and it was a phenomenal, moving experience for me, and it was also a fantastic, incredible, inspirational time with the students. So this is just one of many programs. The interns, I think, really said it best.
The idea that they have managed as an entity to link education to the outdoors. How many of you have slept on the ground this year? Okay. No. If it's recent, you will know, and you will feel that sense of awareness. I mean, every sound you hear at night when you're in a tent on the ground, not in a camper per se, but on the ground. Do you ever notice how you hear things, you smell things, you feel vibrations on the ground when something hits it? That awareness thing is what Katherine and this team of interns and the instructors, they're actively stealing those little elements and placing those into the students that come and learn and experience all of this, and it plants those memories deep, gives them the chance to have a place to retrieve them from. That is the beauty of an outdoor school. Incredibly rare, and from the research that's been done, incredibly effective at educating students.
Well
Yes.
said. Well said. Okay, we've been sitting a lot. It's time for some calisthenics.
Yes.
Raise your paddle up and down.
Paddle up.
Up and down.
Find
up.
it on
Give
your
it up,
table.
Give it up and
You can
down.
go left and right.
That's right. Oh, yeah, that's right.
I may not see it.
Practice you for the next concert, you know, that you go to.
And is that the one you do elbow? Oh, that's the parade. The parade
That's
wave.
right.
Yeah, sorry,
this
Bill.
brings us to why we are all here. There are 6 opportunities to give this evening, all the ways to support Columbia Springs, changing work and incredible impact on the community.
Yes. And we're going to open that up right now. So, those of you either in the room or virtual that are joining us, if you haven't already, you are welcome to open up columbiasprings.org/hooked. You can give that way. You can give tonight, you can give in the morning, and you can give tomorrow. I don't know when it exactly stops, but it is not tonight. You can continue to give. And I just want to give you the opportunity to get prepared for that. Let's see where we're at here. I'm going to find my place. There we go. Bill, you know what's going to happen right now?
Tell me, Doug.
I'm going to ask for the members here in this room and the members that are out there online to get started on one of these 6 levels. I'm going to start at $2,500, and I'm going to work my way right down to $50. Now, you can raise on 1, 2, or all 6. I don't really care. I would be incredibly excited if I saw anybody do all 6, but that's just me. Here we go. So if you guys are ready to play, please find your paddle. And if I could have you dim the lights just a smidge, because anybody in this section of the room is pretty much off limits to me right now, from a vision standpoint, I mean. Okay, you're going to keep it up there. Okay.
It appears that we have our first wonderful bidder, Miss Stephanie Cram. We thank you so very much.
Stephanie Cram is
25.
on the books.
Woo-hoo-hoo!
How about that?
Yeah!
There we go. All right, I am now looking for bidders, supporters, and I'm going to give you the $2,500 level. So at $2,500, we're looking for somebody to step up and offer their support for Columbia Springs. And I see my first one, and this is worthy of applause. Heidi Bixby Johnson, thank you.
Thank you.
Bidder number 342
your
at
way.
$2,500. Thank you, Heidi. Wow. Anybody else want on at $2,500? Looking for 25? Passing. We are now moving to the, oh, hold on. My notes show that we have a video. Are you guys ready? He's giving me a thumbs up. Join me in watching this next video, please.
And good evening, everybody. This is Paul Montague. I am so sorry I cannot be there with you tonight, but I hope that Doug and Bill are taking good care of you and you're enjoying a wonderful dinner. You know, it's people ask me, why do I keep supporting Columbia Springs? Of course, part of it is, of course, because Maureen was there for 5 years. But my history of support for Columbia Springs goes way back years beyond that. And really it comes down to, how do we introduce kids to nature? For me, I was lucky. I grew up in the country. I had lots of opportunities to explore the woods around my house and really go far afield. But kids today don't have that opportunity. If you look at the kids who grow up here in Vancouver and Camas and throughout Clark County, most of them really never get a chance to experience nature in its form like this. And so that's why I keep coming back and supporting Columbia Springs every year after year after year. So again, I hope you're having a great time tonight. Think about what Columbia Springs does for our kids and our community. And I'll just say thank you and dig deep and have a great evening.
Very nice.
Yes, Paul Montague.
We're sad that Paul couldn't be here, but he was here.
He was.
I like what he said the best. He says, dig deep. I really like that. As a reminder, giving will be open at all the levels that we mentioned and will mention, or at an amount outside of these. Let us know if you'd like to make a special donation. Doug, you've been doing great. Keep it going.
Well, here we go. So the next level that we'll open up is at $1,000, and I'd like to entertain anybody that would like to offer their support at an even $1,000. You know how easy it is to write 1,000. It's a single number and a bunch of circles. It's easy. It's the easiest one to write on.
Wait a second,
So
Doug. I have to interrupt. Heidi Johnson Bixby?
That was the last one.
That was the last one? Oh, well, then I'll say it again. Thank you.
Thank
Go
you,
ahead.
Heidi. I saw a 1,000 bidder
Oh,
number
my
329.
Whoa!
Sarah, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Looking at anybody else that wants to hop on at $1,000. Dennis Campy at 523. Thank you, Dennis. Thank you so much. Does anybody else care to support it at an even $1,000? So you know how easy it is to write. It's easy to spell. All right, we'll get moving then.
Thank you, Dennis.
I am moving then now to the next level down. Okay, $500. Anybody would like to support it, and even $500. There we go. My first. Thank you so much. 527. Gayla, thank you so much. And
you get 3 bows.
3 bows. Anyone on the? Yes. Thank you. Bidder number 317. Thank you.
Thank you, Gayla
Thank
Miller.
you. I
and
see your bid.
Amy and David Lamp.
$500.
Thank
Anybody
you, Bill
else?
Collins.
One last opportunity at 5.
Holy moly.
You'll throw. Oh, Heidi. 1.
Holy moly.
2.
Hey, whoop, whoop, whoop. Right there.
Oh, yes. Hold on. I need that number. 402. That is 3.
Tomas.
Oh. Who else wants to get one more? And if you're thinking about it, just do it. Isn't that the line? Just do it.
Dig deep.
If it's in your heart. Otherwise, we are going to move Heidi. Oh, yes. There we go. Bidder number 315. I see you. Thank you very much. We are sitting at 4.
Yeah!
And I see number 5. Lena Weiler, thank you so much. Bidder 400. We have our 5, Heidi. Thank you,
Robert Bird and Rick Fraser and
you for
Heidi.
that, Heidi. Yes, yes. Oh,
Thank you, Jeff Whittler.
Oh, my goodness. Thank you. Thank you for supporting Columbia Springs, all of you.
Oh my gosh, we are more than halfway to our goal. That's very exciting.
Can you guys can you see this? Oh, you can see. Oh, look at that go up.
Oh,
it just got hot.
I don't need to repeat all the names and everything.
Hot in here.
You can see
it. I'm at the 250 mark. 250 mark. I'd like to see anybody that'd like to support it. 250, and I got 362. Jim Malinowski, thank you. Jane Van Dyke at 398. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Who else wants it? 250. $250. I would entertain that one right there. Number 64. We go. Thank you. She's thinking about it. Some others in this room might be thinking about it. And if you are, raise it up, or I'm going to take it to the next level right after a video.
Right.
This is the scary one.
Well,
this scared me.
Well,
it's the season.
It's Halloween. It is the season. So those of you that have been around Columbia Springs might know the wildlife mascot. And the name of this mascot is Hank, the great blue heron. Though he may seem emotionless, stoic during the day, nighttime he starts to get going, dancing and doing all sorts of things. And in the spirit, as Doug said, of October, let's take this short clip of our friend Hank the Heron. You okay, Doug?
I missed something there. Can I see that one more time? He's covering some ground.
It's a good thing. I think Columbia Springs closes like at 8 or something. I mean, this is good. You don't want to go in after dark.
Hank's got a nightlife. Gosh, I'm envious. Oh, my. Well,
So, wildlife habitat. I mentioned it a little bit before. Do you know the 3 components of it? Water, shelter, and food. Exactly right. Some people say space as well. And if we could, take a trip on a hot air balloon or a little airplane and look down, you notice the urban areas that are here. And this is really, it's not a Columbia Springs, it's Columbia Oasis. I mean, this really is an area that it's a refuge for wildlife. And it connects to other places, and it connects across the Columbia, where I used to work at the Sandy River Delta. So it is absolutely invaluable for fish and wildlife species. And I thought now, real quickly, I can give the educational part of the evening. You had it with the fish. Let's continue in the fish theme. I want to see one hand. This doesn't mean you're donating anything, right? One hand right here. Let's see your hand. Let's see your hand. We're going to learn the 5 species of salmon that inhabit the Columbia River Basin. This is called a thumb chum. If I go like this to Doug, which I would never do, it's called sock eye. The third finger is the largest finger, king or chinook. The fourth, maybe you have one in your hand, is a silver or coho ring. And number 5, we know what this finger's called, right?
Pink.
The pinky or pink. Let's all yell it out. Thumb, chum.
Sockeye.
King or chinook. Silver or coho, and
pink.
Nicely done.
Woo.
We're moving on.
A little education, free of charge tonight. Tuition is accepted at the door.
Doug, but there are even more levels.
There are 2 more levels, Bill.
Okay.
I am going to take you to the $100 level. So whoever would like, Patty, thank you so much. Bidder to 309.
Gosh, holy moly.
313, thank you. Thank you so much. Bidder 357, I see you. Bidder 368, I see you. Thank you. 402, back in the game. 365, and yes, you can applause if you would like. Woo-hoo! 348, I see you. 367, thank you. 548, you're on the books. 582, thank you so much. 330,
327, thank you kindly. Oh, 356. In the back, it's so far, it says 312. I thank you so much on behalf of Columbia Springs.
312. At a $100 level. Anybody want on at that point? Anyone else at $100? Otherwise, we're stepping it now to our last level, $50. And here it starts. I got my first bid. Let's go at $50. Who wants on at 50? Nice. I got, oh yeah. Ooh, this room's coming alive. I'm liking this. 350. I see you. 552. Thank you. I got 3 in a row. 551. I see. Who else could do?
Behind you there, sir.
Do I have it? There we go. 364. Thank you.
Oh my gosh! Look at all these people on my end.
304. I've got you, and I've got 4. I've got 3. Wow. Here we go. This is impressive, you guys. I've got a 310. Thank you so much. 378. I see you. You're in the book. 386. You're in. And 347, you're in.
Oh, what a great group. Thank you. Woo!
Anybody else at the last and lowest level, at the $50 level, this is great support for Columbia Springs. I hope you're having fun. Okay. That was the giving part. I appreciate the support. It is so important to the good work that Katherine and the team at Columbia Springs are doing. This is going to conclude Bill and my work this evening. We are at 14,305.
Nicely done. That's a good start.
How about that?
Woo! Wow, thank you.
We'll see what the bid that silent auction along. Keep that going, right? This is the end of this opportunity. For those watching from home, I guess we're going to be in touch on Monday. Bill, you have these notes as well, so please help me.
Go right ahead.
There is still time to support. There is a mystery basket raffle. I'm not sure. Do you know what that's exactly about? I think there's something in there that's somewhat unknown. And the mystery gift card sales will remain open for one more week until the 15th. So don't miss that opportunity. You can continue and play this along a little bit more next week. So have some fun. And I think that's the cue for Katherine.
We got it right this time. Let's go through this program again so I can get your introductions.
Come on down, Katherine. And she'll be closing for the evening.
On your phone, there's a little person icon, and if there's a balance, you can pay it, and then email yourself a copy of the receipt, because technology is great. If you need any help with this, we've got people at the same table where the welcome was, and they can come in and they help you all with all that. That mystery item is worth over $500. So just think about that. It's pretty amazing. I want it really bad. I may have done it 3 times, I'm sorry. So I really wanted to thank, again, our generous sponsors, and then also a special thank you to our Hooked and Auction Committee. They really did an excellent job. Those baskets are amazing. The things that we got to auction off for all of you were really wonderful, so please give them a hand. I also want to thank our very special volunteers who only helped set up tonight, but also in general, and also to my lovely husband who's sitting over there in the corner, because he is very humble, but he made every single one of these, just so you know. He deserves applause. He won't like it. It's okay. And I especially want to thank Kylie, who's hiding over there in the corner, because, stand up, there you go. None of this is possible without her. So she's the mastermind behind all of this, the vision behind all of the videos. She does all of the community engagement for what we do. So every story we tell comes from Kylie, and she does it better than anyone else I know. So she's amazing, and I just can't. And also, none of what we do would be possible without each and every one of you supporting us, not only by coming to the site and doing something as simple as pulling ivy or raking leaves, which is things we need done, but also just digging deep tonight. I really appreciate it. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. Have a good night.